Hello, thriving friends. How are you all doing? Oh, it's a beautiful new week. Happy new week to you. We are a little bit behind time because of technical issues. And I know that LinkedIn, I was trying to get LinkedIn connected, but it's not connected yet. If we do, we'll continue to stream there. In the meantime, welcome everybody. Welcome to a new day of Thriving Lessons with Dr. G. We are streaming live on multiple platforms except LinkedIn for now. Um, we'll get that figured out, right? We'll get that figured out. If this is our first time meeting, hi, hi, hi. Oh man, let's see. Let me just type. Okay. Please go ahead and share the link with your friends, with all your loved ones. Today we are going to have a wonderful conversation on mindful techniques to improve focus and reduce stress. I am planning on sharing with you my personal experiences when it comes to focusing and reducing stress. So, when you get on here, please say hello. Let me know that you can hear me. Let me know that you can see me. I'm looking around to make sure that the mic is connected. It is connected. My video is connected. It tells me that Facebook is connected, Four Star Radio and TV is connected, and X is connected. So I'll go ahead and get started. So, whichever platform you are on, you are usually given multiple options either to like, to follow, to subscribe, to share, to support. Whichever option you are given, please go ahead and support us. If you support what we are doing, yes, go ahead and like the video, share the video. I hope you find our content helpful. If you do, then go ahead and share with others too. So we are the thriving generation. I said my name is Dr. G. I go by Dr. G on social media, but my name is Grace Kakari. I am an assistant professor teaching public health courses in a higher institution in the US. I'm also a certified health education specialist, a health and wellness coach, but I delight in my success and holistic wellness advocate. I love to talk about everything success and holistic wellness because this is what I believe. I believe that a balanced, thriving life demands paying attention to several aspects of a person's life. You can have a wonderful financial wellness, but if your health, personal health, is not going well, the money become meaningless. At the same time, it could be in the reverse. You can have money. But what if your mental health is not in a good place? You can't enjoy, or you can have wonderful mental health, and if you're struggling in occupational health, it doesn't help you in any way. So that is where I come in, helping you bring your focus to the different dimensions of your health and your well-being. And I use the 8 dimensions of health and wellness because I believe that this one breaks it down to multiple portions, and it gives you the opportunity to see how, as human, we are made up of different aspects um of our lives, right? We have the emotional wellness, spiritual wellness, occupational wellness, physical wellness, financial wellness, intellectual wellness, environmental wellness, and social wellness. So all these areas have to be taken care of at different points in time. We talk about different things related to these dimensions of health and wellness. So if this is interesting to you, or you find this important or relevant to your life, please go ahead, subscribe. If you are on the YouTube, or if even if you're not, go and find us Thriving Generation with Dr. G and subscribe. That is where we save most of the videos. And then we go live on LinkedIn, Grace Kakari, and on my personal Facebook, as well as Thriving Generation Africa. So, mindful techniques to improve focus and reduce stress. Focus and stress. I think that is one of the areas where we are I think even we can divide them into two different areas, the focus and the stress, two different areas, but most of the time one leads to the other. So we are treating them as if they are the same today. But definitely you can pay attention to learning more about your focus and learning more about your stress. But I thought I would share with you some aspects when it comes to my personal life, how I am helping myself with my focus and how I am helping myself reduce stress. So, friends, the first thing is to understand the science, understand the science behind mindset, understand. Hey, goodness, can I even speak today? Understand the science behind stress, understand the science behind improving your focus. Because if you don't understand, you may just go with everything and anything people talk about online. But if you understand the science and you know what leads to us losing our focus, the reasons behind focus, the reasons behind the stress, different types of stress, we've paid attention to this before. So if you go on Thriving Generation with Dr. G, we've talked about stress, good stress, bad stress, that is distress and eustress, and how both of them kind of benefit or what's the negative of benefit? Benefit or do not benefit us and our well-being, right? You have to understand all those things. If you don't, then you just be swayed by whatever people talk about online. And people sometimes talk about things just to sell products to us, right? So if you don't understand, you may fall for other tricks like, oh, let's do this. This is how you can reduce your stress. This is how you can gain your focus. And I think that is why most of our population today, I don't know about which country you are in, but in the United States, many people are taking medication to increase their focus. Okay, that is temporary. And the medications also almost always have some kind of side effect, right? So if you don't understand the science behind focus and stress, and you are just going with whatever the trend is, and you're also taking the medication, in the long term, that may not be helpful to you, right? So I will seriously advocate that spend some time in learning about stress, spend some time in learning about human mind and focus. And with that understanding, you can move on to the second phase. Oh, what happened to my slide? I think I have to stop using white background. My second point was to set practical goals. Hey, today be today. All right. Yes, I'm back. I think I had the screen go off for a little bit. So let me bring the slide back on. The second point is to set practical goals. Welcome, thriving friends. We are talking about mindful techniques to improve focus and reduce stress. And then the first thing I talked about was to know the science behind human mind and stress. Once you know the science, you are able to understand your personal mind, you're able to understand yourself, and you're able to move on with other techniques that can help you. If you don't understand the science, you may fall for scams and tricks and even fall on medication to reduce your focus. And that is not a good answer. I'm not going to name any medication here before you start exploring what they are. All right. So the second thing that you cannot see is setting practical goals. I think practical goals are very important because we can dream big, we can dream strong, and I am a full advocate of dreaming big, going beyond the smaller things. But practical goals give you the opportunity to break the big goal into smaller portions, right? Still have the wonderful vision, the wonderful goals, but you have steps towards achieving those goals. If you don't have the steps, then it becomes overwhelming and you get stressed by it. I've seen this happen to me multiple times, multiple times in my life where I have a lovely goal. I write the goal down, and I've talked about goal setting multiple times, but sometimes I don't break the goals into smaller steps, like This is the first step, followed by this step and that step, and this is how I'm going to achieve this particular goal. If you don't do that, then you become overwhelmed. For example, last year I had a goal of a certain financial passive increasing my passive financial income by a certain amount, right? And yet I did not break down what exactly I'm going to do to increase that income. So then it becomes a huge amount, then it overwhelms you. And in my case, me, it overwhelms me and I get stressed and I never get started because it's too big to start. I need a big chunk of time to start, and the big chunk of time is never coming, and I never start, and it was never achieved, right? In the same way, I wanted to write a book. I had the title of the book, I had a wonderful idea for the book, but I didn't have a plan on how to actually get the book written. So I never started, right? Because I didn't even have a date that I'm going to start, the day that I desire to end by. Sometimes those ones will change, but at least I needed to start, break them down. Chapter one will be written by this time, chapter two by this time. But no, I need to write this huge book, and I never write this huge book because I'm overwhelmed by the idea that is big. I need a huge vacation time to sit to get it done, and I never get a huge vacation time to get it done. So then it never gets done. So be practical about your goals, and that can help you. And when you have things broken into smaller steps, definitely your focus will be better. The third thing I do when it comes to increasing my focus and reducing my stress has been saying no. Learn to say no. Learn to say no. I cannot stress on this enough, my friends, that we as human, we are created to love and to support. And most of the time we want to please, we want to be loved. It's not a bad thing. It's a desire that we as human have. We want to be loved, we want to be supported. So hey, can you join me to this event? Say yeah. If your boss is asking, hey, can you do this extra thing? Oh yes, I can. But we only have 24 hours in a day. Some of us are married, we have responsibilities at home. Some of us have kids, we have responsibilities to them. Some of us have other duties in the community, to the family, and to ourselves, right? We have to take care of ourselves. I have used this illustration before, and I would love to use it again. Our body is the vehicle that is taking us to our final destination. If we don't service this body well, it will not be in good shape to take us to the final destination. So that is something you have to take care of, right? So you have a responsibility to yourself. As you are given and you are given and you are given, learn to say no sometimes. If you know that it is being stressful, if you know that it is affecting you as a person, take a step back. Just take a step back and say, hey, I need this moment for myself. Hey, I need to sleep a little bit more. Hey, this, that. It's okay. It's okay to say no sometimes. And the fourth thing that has been really helpful when it comes to focusing and reducing stress has been delegating. Learn to delegate. I don't know what you can delegate when it comes to your side of the world, but most of the times there are things that you can pay others to do, and there are things that you can put on hold to do later, or there are things that people can help you get it done faster, even if you are involved. So the first thing I said was to pay others to do. What are some of those examples? Let me use myself, that is recording videos. I want to share, I want to teach on different thriving lessons, right? But I don't necessarily have to do all the video editing myself. I used to do all those myself, but as my family has increased, as my work responsibilities have increased, I have help now. I pay someone to help with the video editing, and it's okay. It doesn't make me incompetent. It doesn't mean that I don't know what to do. It doesn't mean anything than getting help. It makes things go faster. Things that I would have had on hold because I don't have time to do, now it's being done, and we'll be able to share the videos. In the same way, things that are related to social media, I don't have to be online every time. I have help. Right. Things like that you can get help to do. It helps you to be more efficient. It helps you focus your energy and your time on things that only you can do. That is me sitting here and talking. I am only one Grace Kakari. I'm only one Dr. G. I get to sit here. I get to share with you. I enjoy this. And that is a good use of my time and my focus. At the same time, from here, I have to go to work. And if I don't have to worry about other social media stuff and get to work and get my work done efficiently, that is a good use of my time. So, to reduce stress, to increase focus, consider delegating. The other thing that I wanted to share with you is to build social connection. It is very important that you build social connection. Social connection is, I can't stress on that enough. Even as we are increasing our social media presence and all that, human social connection is very important. I found myself in several situations where talking to people helped me clarify a thought here or there, right? I have friends who occasionally check on me, and that has been tremendously helpful. I've had friends that I've called on personally. I've called on, like, I have this on my mind. I'm struggling in this area. Is this normal? Why am I feeling this way? And you could Google. You can tell me that you can Google, but it's not the same as having friends and talking to them about that. I've also had several emergencies related to work, and I've had friends that I can drop the kids with. That helps with my focus and with my stress. Even 2 weeks ago, I had to do that. There was something that I had to go to the office for in person. I couldn't do online. But at that particular time, I had one of the children with me. What do? I have to go to work. I have a child with me. I can't get a babysitter right away. But I could call on a friend who was like, bring the child over. I took the child over and I was able to go and get it done. So social connections, very, very, very important. Get that if you don't. And how do you do that? You build. You make yourself available for people and they will also make themselves available to you. So think about that. If you don't have a strong social connection, make sure that you are starting to build some human friends you can call on, human family members you can call on. I use the example of friends because I don't have any family with me right now. Where I am, I don't have a close relative right now. All my people are in Africa. If they were nearby, oh my goodness, I would have really enjoyed them. But they are not. So I rely on friends for the connections I need. And then the fourth, oh, already at six. The sixth thing that I wanted to talk about was to plan. Plan. Have a plan. Have a priority list. What is important at what time? What needs your focus at what time? If you're able to plan and prioritize, then you will be able to say no, right? Because you know what you're using your time for at what time. So I'm going to show you a video that my good friend Prince um recorded with me last year. Like, let me see. So Prince recorded this video with me last year. I think a couple of weeks ago we shared part one of the video online. I'm going to share the second part with you. So I'm going to go ahead and share. How do I even do it? Present. I'm so grateful for StreamYard. It makes things so easy. All right, there we go. Yeah. So I went on YouTube and I searched for. Oh, hold on. Is it going to work? Okay. Let me mute it just in case they have any advert. So if you haven't seen the part one, please go ahead and watch the part one. I'll try and increase the screen so that you can watch with me. Okay. Here we go. Hold on. The volume. Prince, you had a slide. Do you want me to show it? Is there anything
Yes.
you would love to talk
Yes,
about?
please.
Okay.
Yes, please. I want to be quick with this to take us through. So, for those of us watching, I personally like to use models to be able to explain how I do a lot of the planning. And one of the models that you also find in the TikTok app is called the Eisenhower matrix. So the this model I use to plan. So for example, when I have a set of activities to perform, I try as much as possible to prioritize and deprioritize activities. So, for example, I'm in this meeting with you. It means that this is a priority for me. And then what that means is that the law of opportunity cost means is that some other activity has been relegated to the background. Now, in order to effectively plan which activity should be prioritized or deprioritized, you need a certain model. And I personally use the Eisenhower model. And the Eisenhower model has 4 quadrants. So I'll take you through these 4 quadrants, and it's very practical so that when next you are planning, maybe should I shoot a YouTube video today, or should I do a live stream, or maybe should I go to the market to buy grocery, you can put all these activities in these 4 quadrants and be able to plan what should be done when. So that is basically what I want to share. Now, the next, so if you look at this, the Eisenhower matrix, like I said, has 4 quadrants, and the quadrant is based on urgent activities and important activities. So let me explain. Now, an urgent activity is usually time sensitive and critical. So let's take an example. I'm supposed to have, to be on this show at a specific time. We said 6 p.m. GMT. So that is time sensitive. Your availability or this show is dependent on me being the guest. So in that instance, my coming here, I put that under urgent. So that it's urgent. It means it's time sensitive.
Okay.
Right. So that's how urgent activities are classified. Then we have important activities. Now, an important activity is usually essential in the mid to long term. So, for example, that I'm thinking of buying my own camera, right, for my streams. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm using my wife's camera. That activity is important, but it's not urgent. It's not time bound. Like if I don't have the camera tomorrow, I'll still be able to use, my wife's camera that I've been using, right? So that is important. So these 2 examples have in your mind. So the Eisenhower matrix is based on these 4 quadrants, right? And the quadrants, like I said, is hinged on important and urgent activities. So now let's look at what do I mean by important and urgent activities. Now, if we look at the quadrant, so let me show you the next slide where I talk about. Okay, let me just start here. So in the first quadrant, which is, and we know what a simple quadrant is, in the top left corner, we have important and urgent activities. So you realize that in life, and this happens every day, you realize that there are some things that are both important and urgent. Right. So if I want to classify even this meeting, right, this for me, I put it under important and urgent. Why? It is important because, one, it is going to help the Thriving with Dr. G platform to have a guest, right, other than yourself, to share different perspective. That's number 1. Number 2 is that it also helped me to be introduced to your audience. Right. And then it is urgent because it is time bound. There's a time, we have to be here at a specific time and we'll close at a specific time. So today's meeting, I put it under urgent and important. And what do you do when you find an activity in this quadrant? It says, do it. As Nike will say, just do it.
Just do it.
So it is just do it. It's time sensitive and critical. And then the second type of activity, those are important but not urgent. So remember, I told you about the fact that I want to buy my own camera so I can improve upon my live streams and my videos. That activity I put it under schedule it. It means that I'm planning to buy it at some point, so I'm saving towards it. So it is important that I buy my own camera, but it's not urgent. It's not time critical, right? Because I
Yeah.
can still, do my videos without it. So
Yeah.
that I say schedule it. So in that case, you postpone it for later. So, and this is something that a lot of people don't do. We are not good at postponing activities, but I try to do that. And then quadrant number 3, an activity can be urgent but not important. Delegate it. So
Okay.
again, so for example, and this happens so much because when, as a social entrepreneur, I build teams, right? And I realized that there are some proposals that we need to write maybe for some grants. It's urgent because there's a deadline, right? And if you're writing grant proposals and all that. But as a leader, I realized that yes, that is urgent. But for me, I need to focus my time and energy on other activities. So it's not important to me at the time, but I would be able to delegate it or let a team member who is also good, at proposal writing, or I can guide that team member to deliver that same output without necessarily me doing it myself. So you
Okay.
can have an activity that is time sensitive, but it's not really important for you at that particular moment in time. And if you have other team members, you can delegate. Like for example, this happens a lot if you're married, where maybe you want your husband to take care of the kids, at particular moment in time, so you
Mm-hmm.
can do other things, right?
Yeah.
So in that case, you've delegated that activity to someone else. And then the last bit is
Mm-hmm.
not important, not urgent. And this is where a lot of people, many people, and I've come across this, they don't know which activities they shouldn't even waste their time on,
Yeah.
right? So, for example, if at this point in my life I don't need a Lamborghini or I don't need the latest flashy, watch or something, like at this point in time, don't do it. Like I don't even waste my time on such things. So that is, I've already talked about urgent and important tasks. So that's what I wanted to share. And the last statement I would want to make is that being busy does not equate being productive. So
Okay.
being busy means that yes, you are very active, you're always moving around. I need to do this, I need to do that. If you don't use models like the Eisenhower model, you'll be very busy, but you'll not be productive. So that's the last thing I would like to share.
Wow. That's a lot. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you, Prince. Oh wow, that was good. That was really good. So if you're now joining us, hi, thriving friends. You are not too late, just a little bit late. We've been discussing helpful techniques to improve focus and reduce stress. And I we just watched Prince's wonderful video on Hassan Tower model, and I think you can all watch it if you haven't. It's on my YouTube channel, Thriving Generation with Dr. G. Just type that into YouTube, and whilst there, please subscribe. Subscribe if you enjoy what we are doing. Just subscribe and go ahead and share the video with someone else. Prince did a wonderful job talking about how we can um, put our activities in different priorities, 4 different priorities. Is it urgent? Do you have to work on it now? Can you schedule it for later? Can you delegate? And can you actually just ignore if it's not important? So please, 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 please go ahead and watch that. And we have several thriving friends on. However, it's only Ohima that has liked the video. My thriving friends, what are you waiting for? If you enjoy this content, go ahead and like it, share, and let's enjoy. So I'll briefly go over what we've talked about because we have more thriving friends joining now. Okay, another thriving friends just like the video. Isaac, thank you for liking the video. Okay, Isaac Tete, Isaac Bote. Hey, hi, thanks for joining, my friend. I'm glad you find this helpful. So before most of you came on board, and go ahead, like the video, share the video. Now I can see, I have the ability to see the people who are liking and those who are not. So yeah, I'll go ahead and stop sharing. We talked about five things, actually six, if we add on the one Prince just shared with us. Six things that I find very helpful when I'm reducing my stress and helping with my focus. And the first recommendation I gave was to understand the science. Understand the science behind human mind and stress. If you don't understand it, you may end up trying to do what everybody else is doing, and the technique may not work for you because we are different people and different things work for us. We are created differently. We have different personality, different genes, different mindset. So please go ahead, go on YouTube, go to your library, find content that can help you understand the science behind the human mind and science behind stress. And please, medication is not the answer. Don't get addicted to medication because that will help with your focus. And the second thing that you cannot see was setting practical goals. I said dreaming big is wonderful, but break them into smaller portions. When are you starting what and when are you desiring to finish? That will be less overwhelming for you. I shared examples of finding myself having big goals like writing a book, but never stating when I'm starting with the book, when I'll be writing chapter one, when I desire to finish chapter one, chapter two, like that. But then I want to have a big chunk of time, sit down and write the big book and be done. And because I never get a big chunk of time, I never get it done. I get overwhelmed, I get stressed because I don't get it done. I can actually get sick when I'm overly stressed because I didn't do what I wanted to do. Don't find yourself in my situation. Break them down into smaller portions and get them done. The third thing is learning to say no. We only have 24 hours in a day. We cannot do everything to please everyone. Get the what would be the right way to put it? Get your no muzzles on. Get your confidence high. Be ready to say no. It's okay to say no. It's not all the time that you can say yes to everything. Sometimes it's okay to say no. Mean to mean, yeah. Sorry. I don't have time today. Can we do it tomorrow? Well, if we can do it tomorrow, can we maybe think about another time? Oh, can I recommend this other person to help you with it? I mean to mean, yeah, as simple as that. Another thing that helps me really is dedicating. I gave the example of social media. Now I'm not on social media as much as you think I am because I have help. I have Isaac Tete, Isaac T. Usually you see Isaac online. Isaac is really helpful when it comes to my social media stuff. I don't have to be online 100%. I can focus my time on my family and on my children. If you don't know, you may think I am always online. Nope, I am not online. So delegate some of the things that you don't have to do, and then focus your energy and your time on the things that you have to do, only you can get done. And then the other thing I mentioned was building social connections. Making sure that you have friends and family you can rely on and can connect with from time to time. Social media is great, but we also need a human connections. I gave the example of the time that I really needed help with my child. I had to go to work. It was unplanned, and I could call on a friend to say, "Can I bring my child?" And the friend said, "Yes, bring the child." And that was very helpful. You can't do that with social media, okay? And even if you say, okay, I'll pay for babysitting, if you live in my town, you always have to book ahead of time. You can't always rely on getting a babysitter at the very time you need it. So building social connection will help you. You can talk to people, people can share their experiences with you, and you get this kind of relief that human were created to get from one another, okay, that you can get from the internet, you can get from your AI friend, okay. So build social connection. Find friends that are helpful. Find friends that are relevant to you and you are also relevant to them. And then the other thing that we talked about before most of you joined was watching the video on YouTube. Go ahead and watch it yourself. It was recorded last year with Prince Buedu. Prince did a wonderful job teaching us how to prioritize our schedule, our list, our to-do list, all the things that we want to do. So I didn't think it was necessary for me to go through all of that again. We just watched it. If you missed it, please go ahead and watch it. I'm going to put the link once again in the box. It's brief, It's straight to the point. It's very practical. I will recommend that you try it out. Hi, Ohima. Thank you so much. Delegate and don't feel guilty. No, 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 not at all. You are just learning how to use your time wisely. So, yes, please go ahead and delegate. Get help. Get help. All right, thriving friends. Do you have questions? Do you have takeaway points? And please, I see many, many people online. Go ahead and like the video. Go ahead and share the video with your friends, with your loved ones. Let them also learn how to increase their focus. Okay. We are thriving, oh, we are thriving, but we have to do it together. We have to do it together. I don't want to do it without you. I don't want to be your only rich friend. I have a friend who always says that I don't want to be the only rich friend you know. I want you to also be rich with me. I want you to also thrive with me. Thriving is not just about money. We will thrive mentally, we will thrive socially, we will thrive financially. We will do well. We will do well out there. We'll grow stronger, we'll grow healthier. Our children will grow stronger. Our children will grow stronger because we've laid a great foundation for them. We are going to thrive. We are going to thrive together. So, whichever platform you are on, go ahead, like, subscribe, share, and share with others. And as you all know, thriving friends, it's a Monday. We have to work. So, I'm going to hop off. But if you have questions, if you have suggestions, if you have things you want us to talk about, go ahead and leave them for me. I will be right back to respond to them. And LinkedIn was scheduled a little bit later than all the other platforms. Don't worry, we are going to stream this live on LinkedIn. So if you're on LinkedIn, please be on the lookout for this video, okay? I wish you all well. I wish you all well. Let's continue to thrive and let's continue to thrive holistically. I will see you the same time next week. Bye, my friends.